Good evening. Welcome to a special broadcast, the Great Indian Elections, where we take a look at all that's happening in elections. On this show today, we are taking a look at phase 4 of elections, especially the three regions, the north, the west and the central regions of India. Let's get started. Well, this particular phase of elections is interesting. 96 seats across 10 states and union territories. The biggest chunk of seats that you would see in this particular phase is the southern part of India, which we're not focusing today. We're going to look at it tomorrow night. Today, our focus is going to be the north, the west and the central part of India. Jammu and Kashmir, 1 seat. Srinagar that goes to poll. Uttar Pradesh, 13 seats. Madhya Pradesh, the final round of voting in Madhya Pradesh, 8 seats in Madhya Pradesh, interesting. Maharashtra 13, you've got Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, the entire South India getting over and out with this particular phase of election. Odisha, Jharkhand, new entrants into the election party. They have still not, this is the first phase where they come into the election or come into elections of 2024. West Bengal, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh across all the 7 phases of 2024 elections. Now, shifting focus to the northern part of India. North, you've got 13 seats in Uttar Pradesh, 1 seat in Srinagar that goes to polls. Uttar Pradesh, the entire Awadh region, the major focus is going to be the region of Awadh. You've got 2 seats in, 1 seat in Rohilkhand, 2 seats in Bundelkhand, but the entire focus is going to be the Awadh region. The big talking points, Kanpur, Etawah, also Shahjahanpur, along with Kannauj in particular, which is going to throw interesting battles purely in terms of personalities that are fighting these elections. These 13 seats, 2019 results clearly indicate, if you look at the entire block, 14 seats altogether in the northern zone. BJP winning it hands down, 13 seats for the BJP. The JN, that's the Jammu and Kashmir National Conference, winning that lone seat in Srinagar. So that's how these 14 seats in the northern part of India play out. Come to the, in today's times, if you put it in the 2024 numbers, the NDA has 13 seats. The opposition bloc picks up that lone seat in Srinagar. Shifting focus now to the central region of India, Madhya Pradesh. This is the last phase of voting for Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh, we have seen Madhya Pradesh across the 3 phases. This is the last phase that you see Madhya Pradesh. The final 8 seats in Madhya Pradesh that go to polls. Madhya Pradesh, you are going to have basically the elections in Madhya Pradesh in the Malabar region, which is going to be the focus. But clearly, few seats in this particular phase surely are going to show some interesting contest, especially between few candidates, Dar, Indore, Ratlam, that we could look forward to from Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh, the entire 8 seats that went to polls, BJP swept this entire state except for the seat of Chhindwara. So BJP holding all the 8 seats, and in this particular phase, and you put that in the present day order with 2024, BJP having all 8 seats, the opposition bloc unable to open its account. A final look now at the western part of India. The western part of India, this is where the elections in this particular phase would be interesting to watch out for. The western part of India, Maharashtra, 11 seats in Maharashtra that go to the polls, 11 seats especially north. The western part of Maharashtra, also Marathwada region that goes to polls. But you would see good contest, especially in Pune. Remember that by-elections never happened in Pune. Also Beed, Jalna, Raver, Nandarbar that we could look forward to purely in terms of good contest that we could see in these elections. Also, to put this quickly into perspective, when one takes a look at this particular phase, the BJP in this particular phase is fighting in 7, I believe, of the seats that went to polls. BJP is fighting in 7 seats in this particular phase. The Eknath Shinde, that's the Shiv Sena part, contesting in 3 seats, and the Ajit Pawar faction fighting in 1 seat in this particular phase of elections. In the opposition, you've got Uddhav Thackeray, Shiv Sena, Sharad Pawar faction both taking 4 seats. The Congress picking up 3 seats in this particular phase. But look at that west zone. The NDA has 9 seats. The BJP, the opposition bloc has 1 seat, and the rest with the others, the AIMIM, that faction we'll talk later. Star candidates that we can look forward to, Dadarao Danve, they are fighting elections in Maharashtra for the 5th time that he is looking to win that particular seat. Akhilesh Yadav fighting from Kannauj an interesting battle that we could see, especially with this is the first elections without the blessings of Mulayam Singh Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav facing the electoral battle all alone. We'll have to see how this particular elections, especially for the Samajwadi Party, plays out. Syed Aga Rahullah fighting from the J&K on a national conference ticket. This is a bastion for the Abdullahs. We'll have to see how this particular election plays out, especially in Srinagar. Hina Gabit won the seat in 2014, 2019, once again in an electoral battle. This is a battle where two regional satraps there in that particular seat fighting it out. Raksha Khadse winning in 2014, winning in 2019. Eknath Khadse's daughter-in-law was with the NC now, shifting focus back to the BJP camp. Rekha Khadse once again in the election fray. Gajendra Patil, sitting MP, fighting once again the elections there in Madhya Pradesh. Savitri Thakur also fighting elections there from Kargaon and Dhar regions of Madhya Pradesh. Finally, Dinesh Lal Yadav or Nirawa fighting elections from Azamgarh. He won that by-elections there in 2015. And that's where, he's had a victory margin of a little over 8,600. But this election battle could be interesting. But he still holds the edge in this particular seat of Azamgarh. Well, before we get cracking with our experts in the studios, let's quickly get a feel of what's happening on the ground. Our ground reporters all ready to give us the latest buzz. We've got 3 reporters joining us. Amit Mukherjee joining us from Indore. Yogesh Sheetal joining us from Maharashtra. And we've got Rama Tyagi joining us from Srinagar in J&K. Let me first come to you, Rama. How do you see this particular elections, especially in Srinagar? It's a bastion of the Abdullahs. Is there a different battle that's brewing this time around in Srinagar?
Of course, altogether it's a different battle because after 370, this is the first big election over here, free from all the fear, free from all the previous calculations, previous equations. If you see, after delimitation, the whole scenario has changed. Different constituencies are shifted to different seats. Like if I talk about this Srinagar constituency here, 2 constituencies from Bargam district, which was the bastion of Abdullahs, that went to that Baramulla constituency, and 6 constituencies of Shopia and Pulwama that is added to this seat. So these factors are making it very interesting. Omar Abdullah, who used to fight from here, he is fighting from Baramulla. So these are the things. But the most important thing is people are vocal about their issues. They are ready to come out of their houses. Earlier, the elections was there were no means of the election because the voting percentage used to be very less. Last year, in last time, only 13% vote this seat got, but now people are ready to come out of their houses. So these factors are making this election very interesting, and everybody is eyeing on this. Okay,
let's focus to Maharashtra, where we've got from Nandurbar, we've got Yogesh Sheetal joining us. Yogesh, how does one see the battle in Nandurbar between Hina Gabit taking on Goval Padvi there, and also the larger picture when it comes to the elections in Maharashtra? Too much to choose for the voters in Maharashtra. Is it becoming difficult for them as we hit the 4th phase of election?
See, Anil, the term is now outdated, but I would repeat here social engineering. Why I'm using this term? Particularly, you have asked 2 questions. In fact, the first question on Nandurbar. See, Nandurbar is a tribal reserved constituency, and the way Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra we had seen here, a bit support was there, and a lot of issues Rahul Gandhi, coined from this land. So Nandurbar is going to, you can say a representative constituency for tribal community particularly. And tomorrow Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, is going to address a rally in Nandurbar. Definitely a lot of things are expected tomorrow from Janjatiya Gaurav Divas to whatever the schemes that have been launched by the government, and also how upliftment was done under this government. And from, also in Gujarat we are seeing from Valsad here, he had kicked up that assembly Gujarat election campaign from Valsad, which is also tribal dominated area. So definitely tomorrow is going to be a very important day. And why social engineering? See, if you come to northern Maharashtra, yes, Nandurbar is one of the main constituency. Coming to Marathwada region, there in fact the Jalna constituency is going to be very interesting battle. We are expected to see there in Jalna, because Rao Sahab Danvi is contesting there. And apart from Jalna, Beed, because Pankaja Munde, you have also rightly underlined in your report that Beed is going to be, you can see one of the most hot seats in here in this region, because whatever we have seen recently in Maratha protest reservation, and when there was a sense in the OBC community that their reservation, their quota can be shared with Maratha community.
Okay.
This fear has just changed the entire dynamics, entire the landscape, political landscape in Maharashtra. Coming to other region like Western Maharashtra, because there are 11 constituencies, 3 in North Maharashtra, 3 in Marathwada, and 5 in Western Maharashtra. Coming to Western, you have also highlighted Pune, but I will also come to Shirur, because in Shirur, Amol College contesting from NCP, and both the candidates in Shirur are from NCP. One from NCP Sharad Pawar faction, one from NCP Ajit Pawar faction.
True.
So there will be basically, you can say, a litmus test for NCP also, who will hold the hold the ground, who will show the exact strength of leadership. So this phase is also going to be very interesting to see.
Okay, let's shift focus to Madhya Pradesh now. We've got Amit Mukherjee joining us. Amit, the final phase of elections that we're seeing in Madhya Pradesh, do you see the dust settling down slowly now? The fatigue of especially the assembly elections in November, followed by the Lok Sabha elections across 4 phases?
Well, Anil, in fact, plenty of interesting dynamics are actually coming up in the current election season, if you talk about Madhya Pradesh. Now, which you rightly pointed out, in the last election, out of the 29 seats, BJP clean swept about 28, except for the Chhindwara, Kamal Nath's constituency. But things are slightly a bit different out here, because those are for multiple factors. Now, number one factor is the last assembly elections, which you again rightly pointed out. In fact, that has thrown up some challenges for BJP in the tribal zone. In fact, if you look at the 8 constituencies broadly, they can be classified into tribal and non-tribal zones. Now, non-tribal zones, BJP again is very, very comfortable in Ujjain. It's very, very comfortable in Indore, of course. It's a different game that I'll come to later on. But yeah, in fact, the 4 which are non-tribal areas, constituencies, BJP is very, very comfortable out there.
Okay.
But the 2 constituencies, Kharzon and Dhar, these are the 2 areas which are tribal belt, and that is the area where BJP is currently focusing. And if we are to go by the analysis for the current situation, it's about analysts are giving about 6 out of 8 clean to BJP. 2 seats are definitely, they'll be up for battle again. Coming back to the last assembly election, that is the time where this new challenges have come up for BJP.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you. Appreciate all 3 of you joining us this evening. Rama joining us from Srinagar, Yogesh joining us from Maharashtra, and Amit Mukherjee joining us from Indore in Madhya Pradesh. Let's quickly also welcome our 2 guests in the studios. Joining us this evening, Praful Ketkar, senior journalist, joining us on the show. We've got Dr. Anshul Joshi, political analyst, also with us this evening to take the deliberations forward. Let me first come to you, Mr. Ketkar. How do you look at Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh in particular? Phase 4, the final round of elections there. 2 seats that Amit highlighted, the tribal belts that could be, that could be throwing a close contest between the 2 parties.
See, he's right. Khargon and Dhar area, there, some kind of youth movement that transformed into a party played a critical role. But remember, in Vidhan Sabha election, assembly election also, they refused to side with the Congress. True. So the point here is the way BJP has swept, assembly polls, and though little bit of noises were there, and it was mainly due to the internal dynamics within the BJP, where BJP faced certain issues when it came to assembly elections. I don't think there is much of a problem in this phase as far as, and more importantly, please try and understand the new chief minister, it is his area and he has to prove his leadership. So it will be very interesting, but it looks quite comfortable for BJP as of now, the reports that we are getting from the ground.
Okay.
Another important, Anil, the way Congress candidates, because see, here is one state where there is a straight BJP versus Congress battle. And here it looks like the Congress candidates have at many places given up the things.
Okay.
So the guards are very low after assembly elections.
Okay.
And the way we have seen the drama taking place in Indore, where the Congress candidate at the last moment has switched the side. So it would be, quite interesting to see how does
Okay, Dr.
voter
Joshi.
respond to this.
Okay, Dr. Joshi, looking at Maharashtra, Maharashtra, you've got North Maharashtra, you've got Western Maharashtra, you also got the Marathwada region into play, and you've got all the political players, that we can think about, all in this election battle. How do you see this high voltage, high drama battle that plays out in phase 4?
Definitely, when you speak about Maharashtra, it's going to be a heated battle, and more fuel has been added to this battle by Sanjay Raut's remarks on Prime Minister of India today. So definitely there are different regions in Maharashtra, and the fight is tough. When we compare it to a state like Madhya Pradesh, wherein we see not only a direct fight between Congress and BJP, we have seen that how BJP has already swept assembly elections, and last time also it did really well in Lok Sabha elections, wherein only one seat was won by Congress. So in Maharashtra, the picture is different. But Anil, I would like to take your attention towards the issues and the remarks that have been made in amid all these three phases. So from the comments made by Rahul Gandhi of Congress related to this religion based reservation, to when we look at Sam Pitroda's completely controversial and highly condemnable remarks, racial remarks, to if we look at the remarks made by Maria Alam Khan from SP in Farrukhabad on vote jihad. So all these kind of controversial remarks are definitely hurting the voters from different regions, from different states in this similar manner. So definitely these developments would play a role not only in the polling of Maharashtra, but when we look at the other states, these kind of things are going to play or change the picture.
You want to add something?
Yeah. See, traditionally, if you see, North Maharashtra used to have BJP versus NCP battle on the ground. So if your correspondent took it completely wrong, there is absolutely no traction for Rahul Gandhi as far as Nandurbar is concerned. I come from that region, I know very well. It is, though there is a tribal region, it was always a NCP bash. Means it was NCP versus BJP. When it comes to the Marathwada region, the Jalna, Beed and Latur, this was, and even Aurangabad, this was always Shiv Sena bash, and Shiv Sena versus Congress used to be the battle. Now interesting thing is, when Ashok Chavan is on this side, Pankaja Munde and Dhananjay Munde are actually on the same side. What kind of equations take place on the ground and here also in northern Maharashtra, when Eknath Khadse and Gulabrao Patil, these people who used to fight against each other are now NCP, Shiv Sena, BJP, on the all stalwarts of northern Maharashtra actually are on the same side. So it will be very, very interesting how these dynamics, because it's a very complicated battle even for the common voters. Forget about this phase, even in the last phase, there was a confusion for the voters of Baramati whom to vote for, because they were confusing with the symbols. So it is going to be a really tough for the voters to choose. And apparently it looks like a one-sided thing, but you don't know when it comes to the actual.
Okay, now let's move to Uttar Pradesh. How do you see, Dr. Joshi, Uttar Pradesh, the battle, especially the bastion that, the Kannauj Etawah bastion that, Mulayam Singh's legacy being taken forward by Akhilesh, the challenges that he faces, and how much of an impression has he been able to make in the first three?
Uttar Pradesh, we have always seen that apart from the national parties, there are other regional players in the game, and 13 seats from Uttar Pradesh are going into the polling in this particular phase. And as you said that seats belonging to this Kannauj area that actually belongs to the bastion of Samajwadi Party, Mulayam Singh Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav, will be going into polling. And we have seen that how in assembly elections also, we have seen a changing pattern, Anil, in past. So in Lok Sabha elections, it would be definitely interesting to see that how well this alliance between Samajwadi Party, Congress, I mean as in majorly if you look at India alliance, does versus BJP, because we have seen that in that how in past couple of years BJP has not only made a very strong foothold even in these regions in Uttar Pradesh. All in all, when we look at all different regions of Uttar Pradesh today, we find one unanimous voice in favor of Yogi Adityanath's government, and that is going to do well in Lok Sabha elections as well. And BJP and on the other hand, we see a really weak BSP at the moment. And then when we look at the OBC voting patterns, or for that matter OBC voters, you see how the present Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh is, he was constantly visiting Uttar Pradesh and was doing rounds in these areas. So Samajwadi Party versus CM of Madhya Pradesh, Shri Mohan Yadav. That also we should not forget.
One final word from you. Srinagar, the Srinagar parliamentary constituency, the fight there is the bastion of the Abdullahs.
Oh yes.
Does this time anything change post the abrogation of Article 3?
Two things that I find very, very interesting. Post 370, the kind of nominations that we have seen from various segments, it is really amazing. It clearly shows the way vibrant democracy is, alive and kicking in Srinagar. But more importantly, I would like to see, because it is now the new constituency.
True.
It is not the old Abdullah Bastion. It is, because of after delimitation. And the way Apni Party or this new party called some National Democratic Party. So all these parties, or even Azad's party, how do they play a role? Is Jammu Kashmir throwing new kind of leadership, or at least voting pattern out of Abdullah Mufti clans? That is going to be the most interesting thing for me to watch in this election.
Okay, let's quickly get two more reporters down south. We've got Akshay Dongre joining us from Hyderabad. We've got Marklin joining us from Vizag. We were looking forward to... let's first quickly go to Akshay. Akshay, give us a sense of the battle down south. The two states, 42 seats put together. How do you see the battle there brewing, especially in the region that you're standing, Hyderabad?
Well, Anil, as far as Hyderabad is concerned and the entire state of Telangana, it's a triangular contest. That is one thing very clear here in the state. Now we are looking at three major political forces here in the state: the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Indian National Congress, and the Bharat Rashtra Samiti. From the last legislative elections that took place in 2023, one thing has become very clear, that Congress has gained some ground in the state. They formed the government, and they have gained ground in the state at the cost of the Bharat Rashtra Samiti. It seems that the BRS, that was earlier, as it was called TRS, it had some national ambitions, and during those national ambitions, it lost focus in the state of Telangana, which was exploited by the Indian National Congress. While the BJP is consistently trying to gain grounds in the areas where it feels that it can work better than the Congress party and the BRS. For example, if you look at 2019 elections, then the BJP had outperformed the Congress party by gaining 4 out of 17 seats. It was the TRS then that had gained 9 seats, and the Indian National Congress had gained 3 seats, while 1 seat going to AIMIM. So this time around, there is one thing very clear: the BRS will try to regain its lost ground. The Congress will try to repeat its performance of the last legislative election, whereas the BJP is trying to turn Telangana into a citadel and a state from where it can in fact move further south. So and expand into the territory of the Telangana. So that is going to be the priority for the political parties.
Okay, we've got Mark Lin joining us from the neighboring state. Mark, good evening. How do you see the contest coming up, especially in Andhra Pradesh, looking at the Lok Sabha as well as the assembly elections that takes place together on the same day. Does that, leave the voters and the candidates in the election fray with too much on their hands?
Well, Anil, clearly the state has been voting that way since 2014. There have been simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha as well as for the 175 assembly seats, 25 to the Lok Sabha. And we've seen that in 2014, the entire state went with the TDP, which was in alliance with the BJP at that time. And the JSP was also supporting them from outside. Then there was a reversal in 2019 as we saw that the YSRCP swept the entire state. And now again we are seeing in 2024 that the BJP, the TDP and the JSP are together again. But when we look at the issues, they do overlap a little bit because, the idea is for the development of this entire region since it was bifurcated. They're looking at ways for this development for which they need the support of the center. So hence the local issues as well as the national issues are more or less the same for the people of the state. And it is to some extent a triangular contest when we look at it, because apart from the YSRCP and the NDA, there is the India bloc as well that's participating in this election. So they are also contesting all the 175 and the 25 seats. Apart from that, there are several independents and there are many parties like the BSP and the SP also in the fray. So, there are lots of candidates. There are lots of over 450 candidates, for the Lok Sabha elections. And clearly, there is one can't quite decipher the differences in terms of how the voter looks at the assembly election as well as the Lok Sabha election. Because if we've seen from the last two elections, they have thrown their lot behind one particular party.
Final word, Siddharth joining us. Siddharth Bharadwaj joining us from Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. Siddharth, a quick look at the political fortunes and the acid test that Akhilesh Yadav faces in this particular phase of elections. He himself contesting, and also his party along with Congress, the alignment that they have done in this particular region.
Well, definitely, Anil, a very good evening to you, first of all. And when it comes to the elections in Uttar Pradesh and this time around as well, I mean, the competition certainly is between the two political parties. I mean, between the two blocks. That is, one is BJP and the other one is the India Alliance, which is the Congress and the Samajwadi Party. Here I am in Kanpur, and this time around at these elections, in fourth phase, 13 seats are up for grabs, Anil. And if you talk about particularly the Awadh region, then the seats like Unnao, Lucknow, Lakhimpur, Kasarganj. These are the particular constituencies which are to watch out for. And the political dynamics, as always in UP, has been very interesting. If you talk about the Samajwadi Party, then yes, today, if I talk about Kanpur, tomorrow, there's a rally here in which Akhilesh Yadav will definitely be here along with Rahul Gandhi. So battle is between the BJP and the Indie bloc, to be very precise.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you, Akshay, for joining us this evening, getting us a better perspective there from the ground. Well, the Great Indian Election is your one-stop show on weekdays on all that matters in the Indian elections of 2024. What could be a part of our deep dive on Friday night? A sneak peek. Phase 4 of the world's largest democratic elections across 96 seats in 10 states and union territories. We track the states from the south and eastern regions of India. How are the political battle lines drawn as the summer just gets hotter? Catch all the buzz as we analyze the seats that go to polls in Phase 4 in this region on the Great Indian Election at 8:30 p.m. IST only on DD India. Well, really out of time. Thank the two guests in the studios who helped us understand this particular phase for us. Praful Ketkar, appreciate you joining us. Dr. Anshul Joshi, appreciate you joining us. Well, with that, it's time for me to say goodbye of this edition of the Great Indian Election. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, Instagram. Good night, stay safe, take care.